Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Battleground Games Live. Excuse me while I make a bunch of noise on stream. Just have to move this over here.
Oh, I'm not. No one's gonna be able to hear me.
Angle it this way.
Yeah. So our
USB hub died.
Yeah, our USB hub that we use to plug in the soundboard, it died, which we knew was going to happen because it was already shorting things out. We determined that that was what was causing the stream to freeze up. I don't know what happened with my camera blacking out last night, but my sound never went down, so the stream wasn't frozen. The camera just
Yeah, maybe the camera's dying too.
Yeah, maybe. But the USB hub is kaput, so we're gonna have to get a new one of those. Want you to order us a new USB hub?
I mean, we can do it. It's just going to take us a while to get it here.
Yeah, it's just going to take a while to ship. I mean, one of my coworkers, her computer has stopped recognizing the Wi-Fi in her home. And that's a problem for her because she kind of needs it to work. And she has ordered a new laptop, and it will arrive May 20th. So, is Streamlabs dead?
No, things are working. I just can't open a new window.
Today's been a day. I did like 2 good things today, and then the rest of our day has been full of panic and woe. I also did a bad thing. I spilled maple syrup on our bed.
So sick of this shit.
How did all the meetings go? My day full of meetings went relatively well. It felt like a really productive day, honestly, which was really good. It's, every time my brain thinks I'm not doing enough, I have to remind myself that I am doing more than I would do in a typical day. It's just that my typical day is usually also full of helping individual patrons at a service desk. But, today, I didn't get as much done today as I would have liked because I got rather derailed. But I also, and I need to remember this, set up a video premiere. I had a call with my department. We had a children's department meeting. And in that meeting, we were able to plan out some events. I explained YouTube premieres to both my boss, my department, and the assistant director. The assistant director is a fairly web and tech-savvy guy, but I get the feeling that YouTube is a vast, unexplored country to him, that he's much more familiar with almost every other media platform than YouTube. And I can't fault him for that. I mean, there are plenty of media platforms. I know nothing about Instagram. If someone was like, you should do Insta Live, I'd be like, I don't know. But now that we're trying to hit the most number of people in as easy to access a platform as possible on as many formats as possible, like, we don't want people to be dependent on their phone. We don't want people to be dependent on a tablet. We want them to be able to bring this up on whatever screen they have available. So, like, Zoom meetings are all well and good to run concerts off of, but they're not fantastic when it comes to accessibility for people who are working off a tablet or a phone. Whereas YouTube, you can watch on a tablet or a phone. But, like, Instagram is more viewable on a tablet or a phone than it is on... Oh, God, yeah. I mean, YouTube can be definitely a black hole. So, like I said, I can't fault him for not being super familiar with it. But at the same time, YouTube premieres are a tool that I feel like we should be using, because they're schedulable events where you feel like you're all together to watch something at the same time. Now, I did discover something really interesting today, which is that if you say that the video that you are premiering or the video that you're uploading is made for children, not something that kids might like but wasn't made for them, but if it was made for kids, it automatically disables comments and live chat. Now, on one hand, that's a little frustrating because it means that a YouTube premiere on, like, my DIY science video there's no good way to have, like, a live chat for my patrons to all be interacting at the same time as the premiere. On the other hand, it does mean that I had thought that we just had comments disabled, but it turns out that it's if you tag something as available for kids. So if, say, the assistant director wants to do a YouTube premiere for a video of a concert that we had with a local musician that's singing all their own music, and therefore, there's not going to be a copyright ding on it, then that means that he can have a live chat. He can have an audience. Oh, now she's interested in that door. She's never been interested in a door before. Now she's going for the front door because we were hanging out there. Also, there's cat food out there. So we thought we got shorted on our cat food, and we did. By not as much as I thought. We did indeed get shorted on a lot of our groceries, but the cat food, I very wisely last night checked to see what things had disappeared off our order or were no longer available, and the cat food that we were ordering was listed as not in stock. So I added 2 more, like, 12 packs of a different flavor, and we did indeed get shorted on the seafood, but we did not get shorted on the poultry. So we did not get flour.
No flour.
Yeah. Real annoyed about that. Didn't get flour, didn't get ground beef. Frozen veggies, I apparently was very smart last night and added 2 bags. Flour is a myth. It is, Jen. Also, hi.
It's going to make it hard for us with our sourdough starter.
Yeah. My mother claims that she has some flour that she can give us because she's not baking that much. So, and my mother does bake, so she does tend to keep flour. Yeah, the frozen Goya section was out today. That doesn't... Oh, gosh. No, don't get that song stuck in my head. But, yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, my I was very smart last night and went and looked for veggies and realized that the veggies that we had listed were probably going to be gone. But you know what no one likes?
Cauliflower.
Cauliflower. And you know what they definitely had the last time I bought frozen veggies? Broccoli and cauliflower mix.
I mean, we can just mix it with gravy, and
that's the plan.
Perfectly good.
I mean, I'm not a big cauliflower fan, but I'll eat it. Roast that mix and it's fine. I mean, honestly, if you just heat it up and pour gravy on it, it's fine. Who cares? And it's a source of vitamin C. So, that's cool. That's good. Because goodness knows we're stuck inside. We didn't get any ground beef. We didn't get any flour. We didn't get any of our, cooking stock. All the, boxed cooking stock, gone. So, fortunately, we do have some still left from our last, that's a good shot. I mean, this is glare, but it's otherwise. Yeah, hold on.
That's
yeah, it's just gonna hit. Those cards are just gonna have glare on them.
And I ruined the shot.
Just leave it, and those. Oh. We're fixing a shot. Hold on.
It's good. It's all good.
Everything's fine.
So good.
It was perfect, and then we ruined it. Good enough.
Okay.
What, do you want to keep playing with it?
Yes. You talk.
Anyway. We did get burgers. So these are my tips and tricks. I don't have any tips or tricks for flour. Flour is, an issue. Frozen French fries, an issue. We did get giant bags of potatoes, so that's cool.
Yeah, we've got lots of potatoes.
Broth is an issue, so that's annoying. But we do have some bouillon cubes. We have that vegetable stock my mom got us, so that's cool. But my trick with ground beef, though this doesn't solve our ground beef problem because it's way too exorbitant, but is to buy pre-molded burger patties. Still ground beef. It's just been made into pucks. We don't have to cook it in pucks.
Yeah.
We can break that up. So we did get a little, it doesn't solve our problem, but it definitely makes me less inclined to be panicked. But I was very panicky this afternoon. It was not good. But speaking of good things, like I said, YouTube premieres. I was able to set up a YouTube premiere. I set up a YouTube premiere for work. My earthquake video will go live. Please join me to watch it at 4 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday afternoon. If you can't make it to watch it live, the video will be available after that. It's just that it goes live, and I'm going to be hosting a Zoom Q&A with my patrons after the fact.
That we can throw in chat.
Yes, I have a YouTube link. I'm not going to put the Zoom link in a Twitch chat, if you'll excuse me. Though if you check my library's calendar, you can find all of that. Hold on, I have to respond to my mother.
So yeah, Amanda got a lot accomplished. Then we got our confirmation of what was coming from Stop and Shop and what was not. And that was upsetting.
Yeah, that was really upsetting.
So we had planned, one of the dinners we had planned for ourselves and had been kind of looking forward to was tacos. We have everything we need for tacos.
Except tortillas or taco shells.
So, I guess Taco bowls. We don't get the tacos. We have the taco seasoning. We have the meat, thanks to your brilliant idea.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't have enough ground beef to hold us. We did get another pork loin, though.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, yeah. Get some cornmeal? Yes? We have cornmeal, actually, in the fridge.
We were worried that we weren't going to get cat food.
Yeah, but we did get the cat food. The cat food is fine.
That'll make somebody happy.
Yeah, I'll make a certain furry someone very happy. Clara votes for pork loin. She certainly does. But yeah, cornmeal only gets us so far. We need flour. Yeah.
Yeah, my sourdough starter will starve if I don't have flour to feed it, and it's not currently strong enough to last. Like, normally you could get a sourdough starter to last maybe a couple of weeks in the fridge, just in hibernation without getting fed.
Yeah.
But mine's so fresh, it needs feeding every 3 days or so. So that's upsetting. You could mail us flour? Amanda's mother supposedly has flour, so we're waiting to see what happens with that. We also have a possible
How much flour
line.
do you have, Jen?
We have
Just
a
out of
possible line on
curiosity.
more flour.
Yeah, we do have a possible line, and my friend Jules is looking at getting us some flour. Let's not. Enough. I mean, honestly, if you want to ship me some flour, I would pay you back.
And it supports the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah, it does.
We both bought a ton of stamps. What'd you get, Amanda?
I got Muppets.
Yeah.
Like I got Sesame Street bread, wheat, rye, regular.
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 Or bread flour, but bread flour is good too.
Yeah.
But just
no coconut flour
all-purpose
we
is
could
fine.
probably get. The coconut flour is always in stock. I'm leery of buying any of the gluten-free flours, any of the alternative flours. One, because anything legume-based, apparently my body doesn't tolerate very well, and does what people who are gluten intolerant do when they eat regular flour, which is really unpleasant. But I'm also leery of getting some if I don't need any, because I don't want to take it away from someone who needs it. So, I mean, I've been curious about using coconut flour. If you want to send me some of them are oat and rice. Rice I can do, arrowroot I can do, but I'm leery of getting them because, like I said, I don't know which my body can tolerate unless I test them, and I don't want to waste the time and energy right now to be testing different gluten-free flours on my body.
And I need gluten for
Andy
the
needs
sourdough.
the gluten for the sourdough.
The yeast needs...
It needs that flour gluten.
Yeah.
Pea flour is tough on the gut. Chickpea flour.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big no can do. But also, like I said, I don't want to take it away from someone who needs it. So I haven't bought it. Like, I won't say no if you want to send me some coconut flour, because I would love to experiment with it. But, pea and hemp protein powder. I can see where that would be a bad gut experience.
So anyways.
I'm just replying to my mother.
Yeah. So we've had that little bit of stress.
Is that your PlayStation?
That's my PlayStation.
Super. Yeah, today, like I said, I scheduled this event, and the assistant director was like, yeah, I don't want everyone logging into the YouTube channel and uploading things, because we want to have some, like, control over it. But then I was like, can I log in and schedule a premiere and see if I can figure it out? And he was like, yeah, go ahead. And I was like, okay, well, he knows I know what I'm doing. Certainly, I already knew about the existence of premieres, which he didn't. So I got to explain that in a staff meeting. I scheduled the event. I uploaded the video. I was getting the link for that. Sorry about that. I got derailed. If you go to YouTube and search for Thomas Crane Public Library, you will find it's not the first thing that comes back when you search for Thomas Crane Public Library. The first thing that you'll get is the Foundation, which is the nonprofit that does fundraising for the library, and it's run by the Friends of the Library. No, it's overseen by the trustees. But it's a separate organization from the library because it does fundraising, and fundraising has its own special tax rules and stuff. And then there's a video about the Thomas Crane Public Library that was posted 4 years ago that's like about the architecture of the building. But we are indeed the third result, which is really cool because we've only just started posting things to our YouTube channel. So the fact that we're the third result is pretty good. We have 11 subscribers.
Ooh.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and make
like,
those
share,
numbers.
and subscribe.
If those numbers go up, then it's more likely that our community members will find it. So if you would be so inclined, please like, share, and subscribe. But if you go to the Thomas Crane Public Library, it's got the crane as its icon. The very first video that is on our channel right now is TCPL DIY STEM Earthquake Activity, which premieres on 4/21 at 4 p.m. Eastern, and you can set a reminder. So I'm going to put the channel in our... Oh, no.
And here's a cat.
Clara's here.
Hi, Clara. Yeah.
Toss that in chat. That is the Thomas Crane Public Library YouTube channel. So please do join us. We're going to be putting some more premiere videos up. One of my coworkers is putting together some recycled craft videos, and apparently getting someone she knows to help her edit them together into a single video. So once that's done, she's going to mail that to me, and I'm going to upload it and turn it into a premiere. And then one of my coworkers has put together a farm story time that involves like going out and seeing her chickens and her ducks and, doing all sorts of farm stuff. And she's going to mail that to me, and that's probably going to be a premiere Thursday or Friday. So we're trying to sort of populate the calendar right now with events, but just putting a YouTube video up doesn't make it an event, whereas putting a YouTube video up and having it as a premiere, and then either having it as a premiere that's not marked as a kids thing and therefore has a chat, or having it marked as a kids thing and running a Zoom Q&A with and after it, mean that it is a scheduled event that has audience participation. So that's what I dealt with today. That was like my work today. And then our bookcase arrived.
Yes, we built a bookcase.
We built a bookcase and put it in our dining room, which let us get a whole lot of crap off of our dining room table, which means that our dining room table can now be a space that I can stream from for work.
Or I can paint at while you are working here. Exactly.
It gives us more than one space for us to be sitting at a table and doing things, and both of those spaces are now well, this isn't super stream friendly for my workplace.
No.
But it's stream friendly for Andy. Yeah, it was a day filled with accomplishment, and then I got an email about our groceries.
And I've just been not feeling great all day, so it's been stressful. But now
just derailed us.
We're gonna play Chrononauts.
But here we are, and Andy was like, "I want to play. Let's just set it up and we'll play Animal Crossing." And I was like, "I have a headache, and I can't stare at a screen all evening." But I have the best sweater. I do have the best sweater.
That is a great sweater.
Where'd
you find that sweater?
Unfortunately, a sadly defunct website.
Yes, but where'd you first see it?
Oh, I first saw it on the show Orphan Black. There was a character working in a comic book shop who was helping out the main characters, and he was wearing this sweater, and I was like, "Oh my god, that sweater is the shit. I need it. So I went looking for Beholder sweater and found it and bought it. And it's one of my favorite sweaters. So I decided today I needed it. I don't know if anyone on my work meeting could see it. They probably could only see like the eye stalks from here up. So not quite as terrifying. I need to recreate it in Animal Crossing.
Ooh, yes. Yes, you do.
And the cat's been real cute.
So
I
cute.
spilled maple syrup on the bed. That was cool.
Yeah, that was sort of my breaking point. That was where I was like, okay, I'm done with this day.
Yeah. I cleaned it up.
You did. Thank you.
I took care of it.
Appreciate that.
I got it on my butt, too. I sat in it. That's how I spilled it. You almost cried in the Stop and Shop? I think that's where we all are. Yeah. It's been great. It's been great.
So let's play an easy game or a simple game. Maybe
Let's play a
maybe not easy.
familiar game.
A familiar game. We've done this on stream a bunch before.
My mother says she can give us a bag of flour and some trash bags.
Okay.
So, and a box of gloves. She has gloves.
So I'm going to switch shots here. This is what we were setting up. For anybody unfamiliar with Chrononauts, this is a game about manipulating the timeline.
Yeah.
It can be played competitively. In fact, I think it's intended to be played competitively for the most part. And the idea behind a competitive game is you get one of these cards, and it's got your time traveler on it. It's got their name, it's got 3 years, and whether they are the regular year, the way that we're familiar with it happening, or the prime year, which is a alternate history version of that year, where something that didn't happen in our timeline did happen.
Everyone fairgoers love German cake.
Yes, that replaces 1939, which is
Germany invading Poland.
So instead of Germany invading Poland, everyone loves German cake in the world of Mojo.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have one of those in your hand. You also have various other ways to win, like a secret hidden goal. You can collect things to win. The version we most often play is the solitaire version, where you get 8 random time travelers and try to manipulate the timeline in such a manner as to get them all home. Which is to say, make the things that are listed on their cards come true. And then you can undo it and reset things. And, I don't know, maybe half the time we manage it. When Amanda was demoing this, I think she only did 4.
I would pick 3 characters and challenge them to get, 2. Our tagline is still Harry Potter?
I fixed it. If you reload it.
Yeah, if you reload the screen.
That's what I was doing when I was over there cursing at the computer. Yeah, it's been a day.
Weird.
I believe I could set up a Harry Potter, Animal Crossing stream at some point. I have my capture card. It would be a very basic stream.
Yeah.
But we could do that. We need to get a new USB hub, because, yeah, the USB hub here died, which is why our sound is so awful. It's because we don't have a USB port for the sound capture. It's just one thing after another today.
Yeah, today was just a...
But we're okay,
day, so.
And you're okay.
We're here.
We're glad that you're in chat.
How many ports? Are you ordering a USB hub?
I mean, how are you going to get it to us is the problem.
Have it shipped to us. Change the shipping address.
Yeah. But, Amazon isn't shipping right now.
Yeah, Amazon is prioritizing, medical orders and stuff, so it's anything Amazon is just going to take forever to get to us.
Yeah, it won't get to us until May, and hopefully by then we won't be streaming out of our bedroom anymore, or apartment anymore. We'll see. Amanda.
Yeah.
How many cards do we draw from the deck?
5.
Okay.
You guys can't see this, but Clara has a toilet paper tube that's one of her favorite toys. It's saying delivery on Monday?
Yeah, okay. I'll take that.
How many ports then?
4 is what we run right now.
This is the one that we had that is dead, and that had 4 ports, and
It's a powered USB to...
It is a powered USB to USB. It's USB-C?
Yes, I believe.
USB-C. Yeah, it was a 4-port thing. So, anyway.
Amanda.
Yeah.
Who are our time travelers?
All right, let's talk about our time travelers.
You want to show them off to stream?
Yeah. We have
Rainbow.
Rainbow.
I like Rainbow.
1948, Israel founded. 1968, the Vietnam Peace Accord is signed. In 1986, marijuana legalized. And they all have these little stories that go with them.
Blurbs.
So we actually have the additional stories that go with us.
I just shuffled these guys up, so there may be some from the expansions in here.
So
we'll see. Yes, Clara. Playing with her Clara toys. You're unsurprised by her 1986 goal? Yeah. For Rainbow. That was true for Mojo as well. Mojo's story is a matter of priorities. Mojo spent years searching for the Eternal Library, a collection of books containing every answer to every question. He found it, just inside the end of time. Skipping past works on enlightenment, the reason for being, and the nature of free will, Mojo returned home with a really great bread recipe. Man, this'll be good. So yeah, these ones that have a little blue thing in the corner.
They were written by fans.
Yeah, they're expansions.
Alright, so this is Rainbow. Why didn't you look in the glove box? When Dr. Enarambus vanished, Wendy inherited his time machine. It was installed in a black 1973 Volkswagen Beetle, selected as the car most likely to blend into any past or future setting. But Wendy didn't comprehend what she really owned. She sold it to a couple of hippies. And those two are seriously tripping now.
I like that one.
We have Betty. This is Betty. In Betty's timeline, in 1945, A-bombs are dropped on Japan. I'm not super thrilled by that.
Let's get her home early. And then because there's at least one other alternate 1945.
Yeah. We always like to end with world peace if we possibly can. I dropped Betty. Alright, this is what Betty needs. 1945, A-bombs dropped on Japan. 1968, the Vietnam Peace Accord signed. And 1969, cosmonauts orbit the moon. Saving JFK. Having unraveled the conspiracy and with strong public support, the NTTA, the National Time Travel Administration, undertook the first major historical rewrite, preventing the Kennedy assassination. But although the second-term JFK did avert the Vietnam War, without the martyrdom factor, there came a third major change. The first man on the moon was a cosmonaut. We have Angela. Angela in 1917 needs Wilson keeps the U.S. out of war. 1929, the Titanic explodes. And 1945, A-bombs dropped on Japan.
Okay, so we've got 2 A-bombs dropped on Japan.
Arrested Development. Angela is one of the fan-written ones. I had tracked an elusive time criminal to an abandoned mill. After a brief struggle, I had caught this masked woman. But under the mask was me, 5 years later. My duty was to uphold the time stream. So, I put my older self in prison and went on a 5-year crime spree. Fruit basket. 1868, Abraham Lincoln impeached. 1933, the mild recession. 1986, the Challenger explodes. Bob who? 50 years after the invention of time travel, the one eternal constant was the need for qualified time machine repairmen, like Bob Fruitbasket. Bob could fix anything, including the 43 Panasonic D-Paradoxer. Unfortunately, a careless tourist's time ripple changed Bob's destiny before he ever learned time machine repair. Instead, he's a lunar real estate agent. Tiberius.
Yeah.
1942, Nuremberg race laws repealed. 1969, Apollo 11 lands on the moon. 1986, marijuana legalized. The slingshot effect. Now that the chief science officer has mastered the slingshot effect, allowing us to harness the sun's gravity to propel the ship forward or backward through time, we've been able to search out even more new life and new civilizations. Of course, the crew has a non-interference directive, but let's face it, accidents do happen.
Tiberius.
Uh-huh. Johnson. 1868, Andrew Johnson impeached. 1945, anything other than the actual 1945.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything other than A-bombs dropped on Japan. 1950, Zeppelin factory opened in Seoul. I joined the Corps for the glamour, but I ain't seen it yet. Mostly, I clean up after the star agents, sloppy bastards. No matter how hard I work, it's always, Johnson, look what you let slip through. Sure, thousands die early in Japan to prevent the Great Burn, but I'm getting demoted for one missed newspaper issue. Dewey defeats Truman. Werner. He's usually one of my demo ones. 1939, fairgoers love German cake. 1974, President King takes office. God, if only, right? 1991, the Soviet Union collapses. Mona Lisa Switcheroo, Part 1. A few years before Werner's time machine became operational, the Mona Lisa disappeared and was never recovered. So Werner's first trip into the past involved replacing Leonardo's original work with a replica and bringing back the original. But the art experts denounced it as a fake. The canvas was too new and the paint was too fresh. I will point out that in the competitive version of this game, you get gadgets to work with. You get artifacts that you can collect, and you have assignments to collect different artifacts. And then there are, like, actions you can play.
But there's also things to collect.
Yeah, and, like, when there's, like, this is the scientist wish list, so that's one of your assignments. So you have to collect any live dinosaur, the crown of thorns, and the cure for cancer. So there are things like a woolly mammoth steak, a pollution-free flying car, let's see, Montezuma's chocolatl.
But there are Mona Lisas, which is what Amanda's looking for.
I'm trying to find them. I don't see them. Oh, they gotta be back here. There's the live brontosaurus. My woolly mammoth is signed by Kristen Looney.
Yeah.
This is a game from Looney Labs. Alright, there's one Mona Lisa. Where's the good forgery? There's the real thing. That's the early American stuff. So there are 3 Mona Lisas. Tell me I've lost. There's the other one.
Okay.
So there are 3 Mona Lisas as artifacts you can get in the game. There's the real thing.
Seems right.
There's an excellent forgery. And an obvious forgery. I love these cards. They're very good. So, yeah, we love this game.
Hey, shall we try and get these folks home?
I think I have to do
some
Renee
strategizing? Oh, Renee.
first. So Renee is our last chrononaut who needs to go home. 1917, U.S. declares war on Germany. 1929, the Titanic explodes. And 1948, Berlin hosts the World's Fair. 2:11 a.m., April 15th, 1912. The time traveler stood on the tilting deck of the Titanic. At last, we know what really happened this night, she said quietly, while waiting for the automatic return cycle to engage. But the accounts were wrong. The great ship sank 9 minutes early, 200 years in the future. The Titanic claims an extra victim.
All right, so let's do some strategizing.
Yeah.
Because Renee needs the Titanic to explode.
Yep.
And somebody else, Angela, needs the Titanic to explode. Nobody needs the Titanic to sink.
Right.
Titanic is rippled, so this is the main mechanic of the game. If we flip, what card?
So, purple cards are linchpin cards.
Oh, so it's a linchpin. Okay.
Well, purple cards are linchpin cards, and they cause things to ripple. So we can affect the purple cards, we cannot affect the blue cards.
Except to patch them.
Powered hubs aren't available Monday, expect it Thursday.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we won't have it in time for Tuesday night's stream, but we'll have it in time for next Friday.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Really appreciate that. So we can affect purple cards, and then purple cards affect blue cards. So we can turn a purple card over, and it's going to ripple the two blue cards listed on the card. So if we were to say, stop Lincoln from being assassinated, and instead get him wounded, in 1968, because that's the only card that matters to 1968, Andrew Johnson wouldn't be impeached.
Instead, there would be a paradox.
We have a paradox.
And then we have to find...
Housewarming present for the apartment that we've been in for 18 years.
Yeah. And then we would have to find...
the patch for that.
Which is Lincoln
that
impeached.
Paradox. Now, if we end up with 13 unpatched paradoxes on the board, we lose.
Yeah, the universe explodes.
There is, however, if I can see the characters,
yeah.
one time traveler whose goal is to explode the universe. Sorry you left it a little late. We appreciate it. But yeah, we don't want 13 unpatched paradoxes because we don't have Crazy Joe on the board. So we have to patch those paradoxes. Now, let's say we patch this paradox, and the other one is 1974. So 1974 is all the way down here. But that is Nixon resigns, and as you can see, it has two red symbols on it. That means both, because it's an and, both 1865 and 1963 need to be turned over.
Yeah, so if...
So rippling this
Lincoln
one doesn't by itself...
and JFK lives, then Nixon will no longer resign.
Correct. But this by itself doesn't make that card flip. So...
That's how the mechanic of the game works.
And there are various cards that will allow us to flip things in various ways. Now, however, the screen doesn't show the last row. Yeah, we are very limited in our
camera angles.
That's got more.
It is a problem with streaming from our living room.
This camera here can see this here, which looks like a lamp, but it is also the only thing that we have to suspend the overhead camera off of.
Yeah, we don't have any sort of armature.
Yeah, we don't have any other, overhead rig for it, and so it's at a slight angle because of the base of this lamp. We can't get it closer to the table. We're doing what we can.
Anyways.
Do we have another tripod?
Maybe. Somewhere. I don't know. I don't think I brought one.
Well, poop. Never mind then.
Let's see what 5 cards we have available to us.
Yeah. So yeah, there are different ways. The thing is, if we do this and we ripple this and we patch this, if we then undo this,
The patch goes away.
the patch goes away and gets discarded and we cannot get it back.
Right. Our objective in a solitaire game is to get all of these people home with one run through the deck.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah, that's why I say about half the time we're able to do it.
If I can get half of them home, I'll feel pretty good about the solitaire game. We do the solitaire or co-op game more frequently than we play the competitive game.
Yeah.
I think I've only played the competitive game like 3 times, and one of those times was when we were in Vegas with Toshi and Tom, which was our 2nd anniversary.
Okay, so Amanda, in our hand, we have 1939 Prime, Fairgoers Love German Cake.
Excellent.
Which is what Rainbow needs to get home. We also have the Mild Recession.
We also
Somebody
need that.
needs that.
Fruit Basket.
Fruit Basket needs that. Fruit Basket needs Abraham Lincoln Impeached, which is 1868 Prime.
But 1868 Johnson needs 1868 normal.
You can always flip it back, but we don't have the patch for it right now. We also have a Restore History, a Reverse Fate, and a Prevent Assassination. I say we prevent Lincoln's assassination to start with.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to flip Lincoln. Andrew Johnson is no longer impeached. Nobody actually... Oh, yes, somebody does need him impeached, but we'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
Okay. Now we draw a new card. Our new card is Allied Troops Invade Tokyo. Well, Johnson can use that, right? That's a 1945 alternative, but he's okay with any 1945 alternative. So I say we discard that.
Sure.
It's gone. Because nobody else needed that. Yes, Clara, I know. Now we have marijuana legalized, which is Rainbow's other objective. All right.
Well, we need the Vietnam Peace Accord signed, so we need to flip 1968, which means we need to flip Kennedy assassinated. But that has a bunch of ripples.
Okay. We're already having some trouble here. I think we're going to have to use one of our one Reverse Fate. Does anybody need 1986 Challenger Explodes?
Yes, Fruit Basket.
Okay. Fruit Basket needs the Mild Recession. Abraham Lincoln. This is upsetting.
Yeah.
We're already in kind of a bad place. That's okay.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
I'm going to use a Reverse Fate.
I am clicking on those links.
To reverse... I can either reverse Reagan wounded or reverse Kennedy... or reverse Lenin murdered. Lenin ripples 86 and 99. Nobody needs the Columbine massacre.
That's the sort of camera we have.
Reagan
exactly
wounded ripples 1991 and 86. 91 is the Soviet Union collapses. Does anybody need... Yeah, Werner needs that. Nobody needs 91.
I feel like the spring
alternative.
clip one is the best.
So I'm going to reverse fate on...
I think the spring clip
Lenin.
one with the moldable neck. The second link you put in. Gooseneck Pippa The Pippa shell. I think that one is probably the best.
No. Yeah. There we go. All right, we've got 3 paradoxes on the
We
board.
may have to duct tape it to it, because I don't know how well it will attach, but...
Now, I'll draw a card. Another reverse fate. I'm going to patch this.
Yeah!
Marijuana has been legalized. Do you want to read the alternative on John Lennon?
Yep.
Instead of John Lennon killed?
Mystery Samaritan intervenes in street attack on Rockstar, then disappears into Central Park.
And now that we've legalized marijuana...
President Mondale signs bill repealing prohibition after protest on shuttle launchpad staged by John Lennon.
I love this game.
So this timeline ends in 1999. However, there is the Gore years.
Which is an additional 8 cards.
It's actually only an additional 4, but then it has a couple other time travelers and stuff.
Alright, draw a card. Alright, so we have Fairgoers and the Mild Recession. Who needs the Mild Recession? That's 1933 prime.
Who also needs Abraham Lincoln and Peach? So
He also needs the Challenger to explode.
Yeah.
Which we just flipped. So
Yeah.
let's hold off on that.
Alright, so marijuana is legalized. So right now, Rainbow and Tiberius are...
So Tiberius needs 42 prime.
Yeah, well, and Rainbow needs 48 normal. And... Hitler is the linchpin for both of those.
Yeah.
They
so
both
I kind of want to
flip.
get Rainbow home first.
Yeah.
Which means we should work on her other option, which is 68 prime. 68 prime is flipped by preventing the assassination of Kennedy. So I'm going to do that. Oops, that's a restore history. I'm going to use a reverse fate to flip Kennedy assassinated.
Okay. Where are the ripples?
JFK injured in motorcade shooting. Doctors predict full recovery. Ripples 68.
Yep.
74.
And yes, that does ripple
And
now.
69.
Right. Yeah, that's an or, not an and. So, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's an or. If it's an or on one side, it's an and on the other, and if it's an and on one side, it's an or on the other.
We are just not getting what we need.
That's annoying. Yeah, I've had, patches end up at the bottom of the deck and be really annoyed by them.
I think I'm going to discard and avert disaster.
Yeah, those are very limited in what you can use them for.
And now we have a restore fate. Or a reverse fate. I'm going to discard a restore history. No, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to discard a halt attack.
Lobster, I don't know if I was clear about what I was talking about. It was this one here that I was saying I think would be the best. Because I think that spring-loaded clip is probably going to be better than trying to clamp something down. And I like the gooseneck better than the suspension arm, just because I don't think the suspension arm is as, modifiable.
Amanda.
Yeah.
We have Berlin hosts World's Fair.
Yeah, we do need that, don't we?
Yes. Renee needs that, and it's one of the alternatives for Johnson, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry.
It's not.
But yes, Renee needs that.
Okay, so
That's
Renee needs it.
1948.
1948
is
we'll
Israel
flip
founded, which we're going to have to reverse to get Rainbow home.
Yeah, we have problems right now because we have to use the patches that we have. We have
to
kill
save Hitler.
Yeah, we have. Well, No, we have to kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler.
And then we have to save
and then
him
we're gonna have
later.
to save him later.
Which is really galling.
Anyways, alright, flip Hitler.
Alright.
Hitler opens 36 Olympics is replaced with...
Adolf Hitler assassinated. Berlin Olympics marred by sniper attack on host nation's leader. Alright, so 1939 flips. Germany is no longer invading Poland.
Mm-hmm. The
final solution never gets undertaken.
Okay.
D-Day is still happening because the Pearl Harbor is still getting bombed. However, A-bombs are no longer getting dropped on Japan, and Israel is not getting founded.
Okay, let's apply some patches. 1940... 48 prime?
1948 prime, right here. Berlin hosts World's Fair. Yeah, we need to explode the Titanic.
Yeah. Oh man. I hate losing that card.
World Peace.
Yep.
Oh no.
1939 prime?
Yes. Farragut really loved German cake, you guys.
Okay. So who needed that?
Werner, but we need President King to take office.
Okay.
Let's give it a try. If it's too wobbly, we can return it. Thank you. Streaming from home was never something that we intended to do in a lot of...
I do not mind that we're going to lose this alternative history.
Mm-hmm.
What does Johnson need?
Johnson needs world peace or Nazis win or Allies invade Tokyo.
And he needs the Zeppelin factory.
And the Zeppelin factory, yeah.
Who needs the mild recession?
Mild recession is needed by Fruit Basket. It also needs Abraham Lincoln to be impeached. And the Challenger to explode, which it's not right now.
What?
Marijuana got legalized instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the last things we do. All right. Nazis win.
Ugh. God, gross.
So now we need a Zeppelin factory.
Yeah.
Come on, Zeppelins. Abraham Lincoln impeached.
Oh, hey. Okay, Abraham Lincoln is being impeached. We don't have the mild recession yet, though.
I have it in my hand.
1933. Where do we ripple 1933? We need
it means Rainbow's going to be stuck forever.
I'm okay with that. We need both to stop the Lusitania from sinking and to explode the Titanic.
Okay.
Or we at least need to we need to flip both of those in order for the mild recession to happen. Hey, Clara.
Well, let's...
Hey, everybody, Clara's here.
Titanic explodes.
Okay.
Reverse fate on the Titanic.
Titanic avoids iceberg. We almost hit that, says Lookout. Oh, baby.
I have 1944 prime. Does anybody need Warsaw hosts Olympic Games?
No, actually, I don't think so.
Okay. Discard that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to sort of discard the patches you don't use. Hey, baby. Look, it's Clara. She's here. She's here. Oh, I love you so much. Yes, I do.
I'm going to discard a prevent assassination.
I love that cat. I need to go get some hand cream because my hands are so dry and it's being seriously distracting to me right now.
Okay.
They're itchy. They're so dry and it's really bothering me.
I have 1950
back,
prime.
my friends. 1950? Which one is 1950 prime?
Zeppelin factory opened in Seoul.
We do need that.
Yeah. So I need the Hindenburg to not explode. Which means I need some means to do that. So I'm going to discard this. Does anybody need President King takes office?
Yes. Someone needs that.
Then I think we're stuck. I think we're done. 1974 Prime?
President King... Werner needs President King to take office.
All
and
right.
fairgoers love German cake. And the Soviet Union collapsed. So
Werner goes home.
Werner's gone, everybody.
Yay.
We got Werner home. So I did an unintentionally very smart thing a year ago. And then again a couple of months ago. When I went to Denver for a conference about a year ago, almost a year ago,
Amanda,
I went in May. Yeah.
What does Rainbow need?
Rainbow needs Israel to be founded, which it is currently not.
Yeah.
Vietnam Peace Accord signed, and marijuana legalized. So, 1948 right now is Berlin hosts the World's Fair. Does anyone else need Berlin to host the World's Fair, or was that only...
No, somebody else must need that. That's Renee.
Okay.
She needs the Titanic to explode.
Okay. So yeah,
Nobody needs David Koresh.
I bought a tube of hand lotion because everything that I was told about going to Denver was that because it's so high up, it's so high above sea level, that it's very dry there. And I was like, well, I'll buy myself some hand lotion. And this was a 3-ounce hand lotion tube, so I could take it with me in a carry-on. And then it turned out it wasn't that bad there. It wasn't as dry as I was fearing. So I still have it, which means that I have hand cream, which I wouldn't otherwise have been keeping around because I don't normally need it. But
does anybody else need marijuana legalized? Yes.
Yes, Rainbow.
Damn it, Rainbow.
Yeah,
Why
Rainbow.
You gotta be like this?
Rainbow and Tiberius are really throwing a wrench into things.
We need to get Renee home. We need that Titanic explodes.
Yeah. Well,
is there anything I can ripple that's not going to break either Renee or Tiberius?
You're glad I wasn't high and dry. I was high up, but definitely I wasn't as dry. They actually the hotel will loan you a humidifier, and the conference sent us things to know about Denver. And one of the things to know about Denver is that it's very dry. So I had been very prepared.
This is paradoxed.
Andy, I think I have an unpleasant thing to tell you about me and sourdough.
What's that?
I think it gives me indigestion.
Oh, man.
So it's so delicious, but I have, every day that I've eaten it, I have had indigestion for the rest of the day. So I think maybe it is too acidic for me.
Alright, I think... Who needs the Zeppelin factory? Johnson.
Yeah.
He needs 68 regular.
Yeah.
Who needs the mild recession?
Mild recession is fruit basket.
Who needs the Challenger to explode, which we can't do until we've gotten Rainbow home.
Yeah.
Who... Alright.
Just have to wait for my gut flora to adapt. Yeah, basically. I mean, I guess if I eat enough sourdough, that'll happen.
I am forced to discard my favorite card in the game.
No.
I'm discarding World Peace. Sorry, chat. We can't have World Peace.
Realistic. Okay, I feel much less like my hands are on fire.
1917 Prime. President Wilson keeps the U.S. out of war.
We need that for Angela, and she needs the Titanic to explode and A-bombs to be dropped on Japan.
So the A-bombs are not happening right now, right?
Yeah. This is what I mean by it's really hard, and if I get half of them home, I'm really proud of myself.
Well, I guess I'm going to flip the Lusitania.
So I just thought of a way that we could play this co-op, but also a little competitive.
Yeah?
Which is, if we each had a hand of cards, we could take turns doing things
This flips 33, the Great Depression.
and see which one of us ends up with more guys home.
I'm going to put out the mild recession.
Hey, Clara, come on up. Come on. All right, so we have the mild recession. Is Abraham Lincoln impeached? Yeah. So if the Challenger explodes again, Fruit Basket can go home.
Yep, and we're waiting to flip the Challenger to get Rainbow home.
And Tiberius.
So let's put them in order. Rainbow, Tiberius, then Johnson.
Okay, Rainbow, Tiberius, Johnson.
Fruit Basket is going to be late.
Yeah. Betty and Angela both need A-bombs dropped on Japan.
Alright, I'm going to discard a card we don't need because we don't have Squatrant or the other cockroach
Oh,
on the
good,
board.
yeah, World War III. We can get rid of that.
Yeah.
That actually blows up the timeline post-1962. After 1962, everything is just gone.
So I've got a Restore History, a Reverse Fate, and another Restore History, and 2 cards that we need. So I'm going to discard a Restore History and another Restore History. We're discarding too fast here. Sabotage. Some Mirage. Discard that. Running out of cards here. Just need Titanic Explodes. European economy booms. I don't think anybody needs that. Nope. Discarded. Reverse Fate. I'll discard a Restore History for a Reverse Fate. Another Restore History. Another Reverse Fate. I think we're... Guns banned. We don't need that, but that is one of my favorite cards, Amanda, if you want to read that.
Guns are banned. Senator Lennon's campaign to outlaw guns results in the passage of Amendment 29, which repeals the Second Amendment.
I want to live in that universe.
Same. Only.
Alright. Disaster. Reverse Fate. There's 3 cards left in the deck. Titanic Explodes. Amanda.
Oh, thank God.
1929.
It's already paradoxed, so... Alright, the Titanic is exploding.
Yes.
Has Wilson kept the U.S. out of war? Not yet.
Okay.
Is the U.S. declaring war on Germany? No. Is Berlin hosting the World's Fair?
I have 1917 Prime. Should I put that in play?
What is it?
That's Berlin.
Wilson
President,
keeps the U.S. out of war? Are A-bombs being dropped on Japan? No.
No.
Alright, so Betty can't go home yet, and Fruit Basket can't go home yet, and Renee can't go home yet.
Do we need Nuremberg race laws? Actually, we can't discard anymore. So, we are down to our last 5 cards. 1950 Prime. 42. Shouldn't 50 be paradoxed? Amanda.
50?
What flips 50?
Zeppelin. Hindenburg. So no, 50 is not paradoxed.
Let's reverse that.
Okay, Hindenburg is... a bomb is found in Hindenburg. Which means that Seoul is no longer captured by North Korea. Which means that the Zeppelin factory can open in Seoul. Andrew Johnson is not being impeached.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a rough run.
Yeah, we need A-bombs dropped.
Yeah.
Alright, let's make the A-bombs happen. Oh, we did need the Vietnam Peace Accord. discarded that.
Oh.
Or is it out? No, it's out. Okay. $69 prime. How do we get A-bombs back?
Which year is A-bombs? 1945. 1945 needs to flip back.
We need Hitler.
We need to save Hitler.
Yeah.
I told you we were going to need to save Hitler, and I find that horrific.
Yeah, let's save Hitler. It'll get one person home, maybe two.
Yeah.
So zoop. Nazis win goes away. A-bombs are dropped on Japan. So now Vietnam Peace Accord is signed.
Yep.
A-bombs dropped on Japan. Cosmonauts orbit the moon. Betty goes home.
It was easier to follow tonight. We were also going through it kind of slow tonight instead of playing it as fast as we normally do.
Wilson keeps U.S. out of war. Titanic explodes. A-bombs dropped on Japan. Angela goes home. Problem is that we had to discard so many of our restore histories. So this is the final state of the world. We got 3 home out of the 8. We have done it before, though. We have gotten everybody home before. Just not today.
Yeah.
So our final timeline is, in 1865, Lincoln was wounded. In 1868, Lincoln was impeached. In 1912, the Titanic avoided the iceberg. In 1914, Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated. In 1915, the Lusitania arrived safely. In 1917, President Wilson keeps the U.S. out of war. In 1918, Europe in ruins after World War I. In 1921, Titanic explodes. 1933, the mild recession. In 1936, Hitler opens 36 Olympics. In 1937, bomb found on Hindenburg. In 1939, fairgoers love German cake and Clara.
Fairgoers have to love Clara. She's amazing.
In 1941, Pearl Harbor is bombed. 1942 is paradox, so nothing happens in 1942.
Yeah, apparently 1942 is just nothing of a year.
Actually, no, that's restored.
Oh, yeah, because we saved Hitler.
Yeah, which means fairgoers don't love German cake anymore either.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like this timeline.
No, I don't like it either. It's too close to our own.
Yeah.
Oh, this is also nullified.
Yeah, Hitler influences a lot of stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Manhattan Project still happened.
Yep.
D-Day still happened.
Mm-hmm.
A-bombs were dropped on Japan. Israel was founded.
Yeah.
A Zeppelin factory was opened in Seoul.
So that's sure cool. Maybe the next leap will be the leap home.
Yeah.
So I watched all of Enterprise, and it was really hard to not see Scott Bakula as, like, I was always like, when's he going to leap home?
Yeah.
Why does Captain Archer look like that?
Sputnik was launched. The Cuban Missile Crisis happened. JFK survived. Things get better after this.
Yeah, things got a bit better.
The Vietnam Peace Accord was signed in 1968. Cosmonauts orbited the moon in 1969.
Check our Chrononauts again with those changes. Yeah, that may have affected some things. We don't get Johnson home because Andrew Johnson wasn't impeached.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln was impeached. We did have the mild recession, but the Challenger hasn't exploded, so Fruit Basket's not getting home. The U.S. has not declared war on Germany in 1917.
Yeah.
But the Titanic
did explode.
But Berlin is not hosting the World's Fair.
Yeah.
Nuremberg race laws were not repealed. Apollo 11 did not land on the moon. And but marijuana was legalized, so that's cool. So yeah. And Israel was founded, but Rainbow, I think, does get home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Rainbow gets home. Israel got founded, and the Vietnam Peace Accord was signed, and marijuana got legalized. So
Yay, we got 4 home.
So that's 4.
That's 4. We got 4 who are still stranded because their timelines don't exist anymore.
You know he's on like NCIS Louisiana.
Oh yeah, Scott Bakula.
Like that.
So yeah, let's continue with the timeline, starting with 1963.
Yeah, 1963. JFK was not assassinated. He was just
injured in motorcade shooting.
Yeah.
In 1968, Vietnam Peace Accord is signed.
So
in
that's
1969, cosmonauts orbit the moon.
Yeah. President King took office in 1974.
I like that.
Yeah, so do I. John Lennon was nearly killed, but didn't die.
Due to a mysterious stranger.
Yeah, who disappeared into Central Park, never to be seen again.
I love that.
Reagan was wounded, not killed, in 81. But then, this gets nullified because we never had that.
Oh, okay.
Because Reagan was wounded. I mean, we probably could have flipped Reagan and assassinated Reagan. Because this, marijuana's legalized if either one of these. That doesn't flip with just this.
Oh, okay.
It's an and. We probably could have assassinated Reagan, and that would have been fine.
Anyways.
We could have we would have had the cards to assassinate Reagan, so. Marijuana got legalized. The Soviet Union no longer collapses.
Okay.
Because we killed Reagan. The Waco compound burns to the ground, and then the Oklahoma City bombing, and then nothing happens in 99.
That's fine, because there's no guns.
Yeah, there's no guns.
What's 99 Prime? Is that David Koresh?
Opens a...
Oh, no, it's Guns Banned.
That's Guns Banned. And this is the Oklahoma City bombing. If that doesn't happen, it's David Koresh opens a, clinic.
Yeah.
It's like a hospital.
So, yeah.
Well, we got 4 home.
We did. We got 4 home. Go us.
It's a rough timeline.
Like I said, maybe 50-50 on winning the solitaire version.
Yeah.
It's not easy. But it is fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
And I love manipulating the timeline.
So, question for our chat and our friends, because it's not even 9 yet.
Yeah.
Do you want to play something else with us? We were thinking we could break out Obscurio. We could do some more dark stories.
Let's do more dark stories.
Shall we do some dark stories? Who wants to try and figure out how someone died?
Anyone up for it? Some tea. Do you want tea early or?
I'll either be up because it's got caffeine, or I will be out like a light before I'm done reading.
Yeah.
Because it'll be chamomile. I do need something to not be acidic in my stomach. I need something, maybe some cheese or something. Yeah. You do love writing death certificates? You can write out fake death certificates for these fictitious dead people. Thank you for joining us tonight, Jen. It's good to see you. It's probably the wrong time to say that. So did I tell you, Jen, about how our neighbor broke her knee in 5 places? They did? Do you have everything you need? Okay.
Here, cheese.
Thank you. Are you okay?
Oh. I'll clean that up.
Now am I nervous? Apparently you have to find another way to say yes to avoid the filter. Oh, because it doesn't want you repeating the same thing in chat. Did AutoMod catch you? Hang on. I have to check the AutoMod queue. It doesn't even say. Weird. It's like being a drone operator. You mostly look at screens and you go in once a day in the spacesuit. Okay. You know, check in with me. You know me being anxious and everything, that I will worry no matter what, because that's what my brain does. I'm glad you're being as safe as possible, and yeah. So, neighbor who broke her knee in 5 places. Her sister came to start cleaning out not clean out, but clean up her apartment. And she's in rehab, and she's apparently still okay. So, that's a lot of places. Yeah, it is. So, we got home from PAX East, and there was a note in front of our back door saying, "Please help, no phone, desperate." Which is not the sort of thing you want to find in front of your back door when you've been away for several days, like a week, and your neighbor is elderly and infirm. So we banged on her door a whole bunch. Andy called 911. She finally did manage to make her way to the door by sitting on her walker and basically thumping it from the bedroom to the door.
Or from the bathroom. She couldn't...
No, she was in the bedroom.
In her bathroom.
The bedroom she could get into.
Oh, okay.
She could get in and out of the bedroom. She was living off of tap water from the bathroom because she couldn't get to her fridge. So what she told us was that like 2 or 3 days prior, she had lost track of time. She's not sure how long. Yeah. Her leg gave out from under her while she was in the kitchen, and when she fell, tipped a bunch of stuff over because her apartment is a hoard. And she tipped a bunch, because she can't clean, she can't move anything, she's not physically fit anyway. She had a non-cancerous tumor on her knee a couple of years ago, and her knee has not been the same since. Like, her leg has not been super firm since. So she uses a walker. She doesn't go up and down stairs. Her groceries get delivered and brought in for her, which I'm kind of glad she's not home right now, because we would have to be doing that for her, because, yeah. I don't know how she's going to cope. I'm really, really hoping. Her sister said yesterday that she won't be home for about a month, and I was like, please take her back to Connecticut with you. But she wasn't sure how long it had been, but she said her leg went out from under her, and when she tipped things... We just finished Chrononauts, actually, so we're going to do Dark Stories.
Sorry, Pi.
Welcome, Pi.
Pi, it was cool seeing you in Animal Crossing today.
Yeah.
That made my day, because I had a very rough day, and it was really nice to be able to visit you.
I felt bad, because I was on your island, and I was talking to Sahara, and I had just gotten 5 tickets, so... It wasn't just, okay, here's your rug, thanks, bye. It was, okay, here's your rug. Oh, look, you have 5 tickets. 5 tickets mean you can get another thing. Do you want that other thing? And I was like, no, not right now, someone's trying to leave. And she was like, what do you mean you don't want that thing? What do you mean? You must want that thing. That thing is so good. And, like, she went through 3 more dialogues before I could exit the conversation, and that was when the game reset.
Did you lose your tickets?
I lost everything. I had to redo the whole interaction. Which is okay, because I had gotten kind of a shit wall, but whatever. But I felt bad. I was like, I can't get out. It only gave me, like, 5 seconds. And I couldn't get out of the conversation. She wouldn't let me out of it. I had just entered the conversation. And I wouldn't... Yeah, Two Flower lost everything too, I figured. Because all of us came out. Oh, he apologized for it too? No, it's 100% my fault. But it was really Sahara's fault because the dialogue just took way too long. I felt bad. I was like, oh, someone's trying to leave. I should get out of this conversation, which is why I was like, no, I don't want something, and then it took twice as long to get out of the conversation with her. As it would have if I had just been like, yeah, give me the floor. If I had been like, yeah, give me the floor, she would have been like, here you go, enjoy. I just thought it would let me out.
But I went over to Pye's Island, and I gave her a whole bunch of flowers.
Yay!
So now she's got a public garden.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I have roses now, which I got from my friend Susan.
You have to wait for those to mature.
Once they mature and bloom,
start propagating.
They should start propagating, and I can start passing roses along to other people. Now I just need lilies, mums, and cosmos. It shouldn't need to shut all conversations and windows to have anybody exit and enter the island. Yeah, you're right. I think it's that it must save your state, and because you're in the middle of a conversation, there's a state that hasn't saved. So it's waiting for the conversations to wrap up so that it can save the state of the island. Yeah, I'm sure there's like a reason behind it so that you don't have people being like kind of dicks about it. But yeah, it was, I felt bad. Yeah, exactly. All right. I have 2 cards. One involves a death. Actually, one involves 2 deaths, and one does not. So, do you guys want the death card first, or the non-death card? Non-death first? Alright, non-death it is. Our first card is The Call. Although she never said a word, warm up detectorin'. Although she never said a word, Ellen was finally able to sleep after a phone call. This is from Dark Stories 2. Electric Boogaloo. This is Dark Stories 2. There are... I will say this one is not particularly dark. It's just a thing.
Okay, so...
Although she never said a word, Ellen was finally able to sleep after a phone call. Okay. Is Ellen less than 1 year old? No, she is not.
Did Ellen make the phone call?
Yes, she did.
Did Ellen call a voicemail system where she could just type numbers instead of saying anything?
No.
Okay.
But that was a good thought.
She did not say a word.
Correct.
And this allowed her to sleep. Or...
Ellen was fine. Although she never said a word, Ellen was finally able to sleep after a phone call. Did she call the speaking clock to get the time so she could set her alarm? No. But good guess.
One. Yeah.
What up? Did she make the call or receive the call? So these have to be yes or no questions.
And I asked, did she make the call?
She did. Did her call alert somebody else that it was time to shut up? Yes.
Oh.
You have to be more specific, but yes.
Did she call a pager?
No.
Okay. Did she call a human being?
Yes. So the trick with these is that you have to be, you're supposed to get all the details and be like really specific.
Yeah.
Did she call her neighbor? Yes.
That was a long pause.
Did she call a work peer? No.
Was the call answered?
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, maybe it was one of those things where you let it ring a certain number of times and then hang up to let somebody know something. But it was answered.
Yes.
Did she immediately hang up?
Yes.
So, like, this is the scenario I'm imagining in my head. She calls somebody, they answer, they say hello, and she goes, ka-chink. Thank God, now I can sleep.
Exactly.
Conk.
Yes.
Okay. So we have to figure out, guys, why she had been awake in the first place. Had she been waiting to hear back from somebody?
Nope. Was it daytime? No. Did she call to make sure it was a real person's voice she was hearing in her neighbor's place and not a ghost? No, but that's really good.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that better than the actual answer. There's a couple of specifics you're missing.
Was she being kept awake by noise?
Yes.
Okay. Was that noise a ringing telephone?
No.
Was it an alarm?
No.
Ah, darn. Like maybe she called her neighbor because she heard a carbon monoxide alarm or something, and her neighbor was hard of hearing, so they hadn't heard it, but they had a phone that didn't require a ring.
No,
I'm making up this whole
good.
scenario in my
was she
head.
being kept awake by the specific type of noise that it was? Yeah, there is a specific noise involved. Okay, so what we know is it was nighttime, and she made the call, and there was a noise involved. Yes.
Yes. Was the noise a crying child?
No.
It was not an alarm.
Correct.
It was not a crying child.
Correct.
What else keeps you up at night, guys? See, I can sleep through anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. If I was guessing, I think I would have guessed the specific noise already, but...
Was it a loud TV?
No.
Because Lewis could have just gone out on the ledge, but then maybe if the window was locked, he'd just have to turn his TV up too, so they'd think maybe there was something wrong with
both their TVs. Does the first person she called have a physical impairment? Not that is specified on the card. Was she being kept awake by someone talking? No.
Was she being kept awake by loud music?
No.
Did the noise stop after she made the phone call?
Yes.
Alright, so guys, what noise stops as soon as you answer your phone? That's a tricky one.
Was she being kept awake by a ringing phone? No.
I made myself hot chocolate, by the way.
You didn't offer me hot chocolate.
Do you
offered
want
me
hot
tea.
chocolate?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make you some hot chocolate. I am having
Was she
my
being
hot
kept
chocolate.
awake by someone snoring? Yes.
Oh.
This is why I was like, I would have gotten this. Andy snores.
Yeah. All right,
So
so
I'm
I think
forever
that
being
gets
like,
us a
turn
lot
over.
closer.
Turn over.
I think that definitely gets us a lot closer.
Yeah, she was being kept up by someone snoring.
So
made
she
a phone
called
call.
that person.
Mm-hmm.
It woke them up.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped snoring.
Yep.
And then she could sleep.
You are correct. You are missing one specific.
Does she live in a dorm?
No. But I will say, good guess. She called somebody who was snoring to wake them up to answer the phone so they'd stop snoring. Correct. And Andy just guessed, does she live in a dorm? And no, she doesn't, but it was a good guess. Does she live in an apartment? Closer?
Is she on a cruise?
She was not on a cruise, but I will say that was closer. Is this in a hospital? No. A duplex? No. You're like all circling around it. Is she in a hotel room? Yes, she is. She was staying in a hotel with thin walls. And the guy next door was snoring. And she could not sleep. So she called his room. And cruise is closer. Yeah, because it's where you go on a...
I'll get you a saucer, too.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she was staying in a hotel. The guy next door, in the room next door, was snoring. She couldn't sleep. So she called the room next door and woke him up. Hey, Andy?
Yeah?
Can I ask for something decadent?
Yes?
Thoroughly decadent. Can I have a spoonful of fluff?
Yeah.
I get some fluff, my friends. Yay, decadence, exactly. All right, so that was that's not dark. Like, these are supposed to be dark stories. How is that dark? It's not. Thank you. So for PAX East, Andy and I made fluffernutters for some of our friends. How Massachusetts is it to put fluff in? Oh, real Massachusetts.
I tried it. It's weird.
So we made fluffernutters for some of our friends. It's dark because it was nighttime. It was dark outside, yeah, basically. We made fluffernutters for our friends, Ken and Sabriel, neither of whom had ever had a fluffernutter before, and Andy
I had never.
never had a fluffernutter before. So I insisted on making fluffernutters for the three of them while we watched Picard.
Good times.
Yeah.
Just put the spoon in.
I want another scoop. Oh no.
Fluff, folks.
God damn it.
Blop.
Yeah. Hey, Clara. You do not get marshmallow fluff. It's funny because this container is almost completely full. Like, it's only down to, like, here. And yet it's so light. There we go. All right. I have a second card. This one is closer to the dark
This one
stories
does involve
portion.
a death.
Yeah, this does involve death.
Okay.
The transport. 2 men failed to carry their loot away from the robbery site. Can I show the card?
Sure. No, you can't.
You're too high up. You have to go lower. No. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There's the card, and there's my cocoa with the marshmallow fluff in it. All right.
So what was it? 2 men entered, 1 man leaves.
2 men failed to carry their loot away from the robbery site.
Okay. Did they both die?
Yeah, they're both dead.
Okay.
I'm actually going to put my spoons on the saucer more than
Sure.
the mug.
Were they stealing something toxic?
Was it a factory? Did their loot kill them?
That was my idea, too.
Sure did.
Ah.
A factory isn't specified. But their loot did kill them, yes.
Was their loot radioactive?
No. Though God do I wish it was. Just imagine if one of these cards was the Guyana incident.
Was their loot boxes full of snakes?
Their loot was not boxes full of snakes, no. Jen, you know the Guyana incident, right? Yeah, of course you do. But it was so blue and pretty.
Alright.
And it glowed, and you could paint it on your face. Was their loot poisonous? No.
Was their loot alive?
No.
Okay. Oh.
No. Because I don't want to mislead you. Was their loot electric? Yeah. Hence the alive.
Oh, I see. Alright.
This is not a complicated one. There are not a whole lot of
Yeah. Were they trying to steal copper from a transformer?
They were trying to steal copper wire.
Yeah.
And didn't realize that it was still live. That's the whole card. That's it.
That's the whole thing.
It's...
Bzzzt.
Yeah, it's delicious copper wire. Exactly, yeah. It's not a complicated card. Some of these cards are ridiculously complex.
That is legit something that happens fairly frequently.
Yeah. Like, some of these cards... Can we go to...
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Like, look at this nonsense. Some of them are that complicated. And then some of them are like this. And this. That happened
That one was
recently
bullshit,
nearby.
by the way.
Yeah, that one was total bullshit.
It's because it said died.
Yeah.
Do
you want a couple? Do you want to do some?
No, I'm fine guessing.
Okay. Then I'm going to take 2 more. And see how good they are.
That seems to involve a lot of reading.
There's a lot of specifics involved, and I'm not doing that one.
Do we have anybody in chat today who reads a lot about serial killers? We could do one of the real true crime ones.
They're not even. If they were just serial killers, I'd be all set. But no, they're just like weird crimes.
Okay.
Hi, folks. Yeah, Jen, do you want to try some of the Dark Stories Real Crime Edition one? Because they're bizarre. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, this is an actually really good one. Can you give me 5 minutes because now you want hot chocolate? Yes. You'd like to try it? Okay, Toshi's in, Jen's in. We'll try the tape recorder one. And then we'll try some of these real crime ones. To give you an idea, one of these was someone I had never heard about who's super obscure, and one of them was Elizabeth Bathory. They run the gamut. Whom Andy had never heard of.
Never.
But then I have weird standards for, like, have you heard of this horrible crime? Because it's a wiki hole I get sucked into fairly frequently, so...
Man, I needed that. Alright. Tell us about the tape recorder, Amanda.
Alright. When the police found a tape recorder at a crime scene, it became clear that a man had been murdered.
Was it covered in blood?
No, it was not.
Was the tape recorder the murder weapon?
No.
Was there a tape in the tape recorder?
Yes.
Did the tape have the murder on it?
Yes.
There, we solved it.
Yeah, except
we don't know anything.
nope. Did they play the tape? Yes, they did. Hot chocolate with marshmallow fluff is fantastic.
Did they not know there was a murder before they played the tape?
Yes.
Yes, they did, or yes, they didn't.
They did, or no, they didn't. Please!
So...
Don't you think we should get that man out of the house before he finds out what's been going on here?
How
can we send him outside in this weather? Let him stay locked up for another half an hour. The police will be here by then, and there are 2 dead bodies in the study. All right. Was it the tape from somebody's answering machine? No. Did it look like an accident or a natural death? Rephrase as a yes or no, please.
Was there a corpse?
Yes.
Until they listened to the tape, did they assume this person died of natural causes?
No. Oh. Flames on the side of my face, breathing,
heaving breaths,
heaving breaths, breathing, flames.
All right.
Now I want to watch Clue.
Okay. Too bad Travis isn't in chat. He would have been quoting it along with you.
Travis and I would have segued into Dennis Leary by now.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay.
As soon as we said the cure for cancer is one of the things that you could get in Chrononauts.
Can you reread the card for us?
When the police found a tape recorder at a crime scene, it became clear that a man had been murdered.
Was the tape recorder concealed?
We're frozen but have audio.
Oh, yeah, we've lost our video.
Lost our video. Give me a second.
This is the same thing that happened to your stream the other day.
Yeah, that bodes ill for that camera.
All right, overhead cam is working. There we are. We're back. Just took it a moment.
Yeah.
I just had to think.
Okay.
So what I was asking was it a hidden tape recorder?
No.
Ah, okay. So the individual in question was not wearing a wire.
No.
Okay.
But that was interesting guess. Like, that would have made a really interesting story. But that is not this story.
Did the police believe it was a suicide before they discovered the tape?
Yes.
Okay, we need to get more details here now.
Yes. You return!
Welcome back. So, what we've determined so far about this mystery
Let
is...
me read you the card, Jen,
Okay.
and then Andy will tell you what you figured out. When the police found a tape recorder at a crime scene, it became clear that a man had been murdered.
And what we've determined so far is that the police thought that they were investigating a suicide, and discovered a audio tape of a murder instead. But we don't have further details beyond that.
Correct.
Okay, here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Had the person whose body they found
Uh-huh.
committed suicide?
No.
Oh, darn. I was hoping it was a taped confession that they had done a murder and then they killed themselves.
No.
Okay.
We need to find out why the victim was taping themselves.
Were they doing dictation?
Nope.
Yeah, she is real cute.
What has she got? Is that just a...
It's a fuzzy.
Okay. Need to find out who killed them and where and with what. Was it theirs? Their tape recorder? Did the victim make the recording? No. Was it an audiobook for the blind? No. The victim did not make the recording.
Oh. Was it the victim's tape recorder?
It's not specified.
Okay.
That knocks out a particular serial killer. So this isn't one of the real life ones. This is just a make-believe. Did the murderer make the recording? Yes.
Did the murderer deliberately make the recording?
Yes.
Oh, how fascinating. Was the recording of the murder?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I had asked that earlier.
Yeah. Did the murderer intend to murder? Yes. Delicious. Did the murderer drop the recorder? No.
Did the murderer want to get caught?
No.
Was there only one corpse?
Yes. Did the murderer know that a recording was being made? Yes. I think I had already...
The murderer made the recording.
Yeah, the victim didn't make the recording, the murderer did. Sorry, I think I answered yes to an earlier question you asked, Lobster, because I misread it. The murderer made the recording. Sorry. Did the murderer know that Yeah, I think I had misread did the victim make the recording as the murderer. The murderer made the recording. Sorry about that.
Was this the first time this person had killed?
That is not specified on the card.
So they're not like a serial killer who records all their killings.
No, but I think I've seen that Criminal Minds episode.
I'm not sure exactly what we're trying to discover
So the murderer
here.
did not intend to... No, the murderer did intend to leave a recording. This was intentional.
You mean all of the Criminal Minds episodes?
Not every Criminal Mind episode involves a murderer recording themselves. Only the stupid ones. Which is like half.
Was the murderer taunting the police?
Nope.
Was the murderer confessing to the police?
Nope.
Did the murderer want the police to have this recording?
Yeah. You know, I should clarify something because you asked a question earlier. Was the murder on the tape? The death was on the tape.
Okay.
Was it an execution rather than a murder? No, it was a murder. Was the murderer still present? No. It's really weird. You and Toshi are really close in color on this screen, on the white screen, but on my black screen, definitely not. But lobster and pie are very close in color on my screen. Was the murderer named Eddie? Not that it's specified.
No, the tape recorder is not the murder weapon.
No, it's not.
We
mean stabby murder, not crow's murder? Correct. It's not a murder of crows.
So...
God, next time...
was the murder accomplished by slow poison?
No.
Okay. Just, I was like, you specified the death, but not the killing was on the tape recording.
The tape recording was not obviously a murder.
Oh.
But it was obviously a death.
Oh, I'm really confused. Okay.
You asked, one of the first questions you asked was, did they think it was a suicide?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So they thought it was a suicide until they listened to this tape.
Yeah. Until they played the tape. Was it a video recording? No, it's an audio.
Okay. And when they played the tape, that's when they realized a murder had occurred.
Yes.
Because the tape had the death on it.
No.
You just said the tape...
Them
what?
playing...
All right.
Playing the tape let them know that a murder had occurred. What was on the tape was not what told them the murder had occurred. Was the murder a shooting? Yes. Was the tape an autopsy notes? No. But the murder was a shooting.
The shooting was not audible on the tape?
Shooting's audible. This one has a really nice twist.
Was the shooting on a gun range?
No. The reason I picked this was because I could see it being one of those things that is like one of those light bulb moments on a murder, like a crime investigation show.
Had the victim been shot?
Yes.
Okay.
This is also...
was the gun in the victim's hand when they found them?
Yes.
Did the gunshot sound as if it was...
The shooting was not self-defense, and the noise of the shooting was not too far from the recorder, so it couldn't be controlled by someone who was suiciding. But that's a good point.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah. Would you like a small hint? The fact that it's a tape recording is important. Because of how tape behaves. It stopped instead of running out. Close. I mean, yes. Also close.
Did a ricochet cause the tape recorder to start recording?
Someone turned off the recording. Even closer. You can't turn off a tape recorder if you shoot yourself. You are as close as I think you're going to get. Someone had rewound it.
Oh.
They just had to hit play. After the shot, the recording was stopped, which, yeah. Someone stopped the recording and rewound it for them.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, that's a really good twist.
So wait a minute. When you hit play, it wasn't after the recording, after the shot?
They hit play, and it played out a farewell and a shot. But they didn't have to rewind it. And it ended.
Okay. Now, do we want to do one of the stupid ones?
Shall we try one of the really stupid Real Crime Edition ones?
I don't think we're going to be able to figure this out with a yes and no question thing. Are there different rules for this version?
You know what? I think Jen's gonna get this one. I think Jen's gonna get this, like, you feel like you're learning crime schemes? Yeah, basically. Bad ones. Jen, you're gonna get this. Dear Uncle Doctor. After a visit to the doctor, several people did not feel any better. I don't expect you to get, like, exactly who it is, because it actually names them and gives years and stuff. You will be quiet if you immediately get it. Yeah. After a visit to the doctor, several people did not feel any better.
Did the doctor kill these people?
Yup.
That would make me not feel terribly well.
Is that the whole story? No. You guys let's try to figure out some of the specifics of it.
Okay.
If you can get, like, certain things, like the specific... Wait. Most of your patients don't get there either. I'm gonna whisper you, Jen. I'm gonna send you a whisper.
I mean, I'm gonna just say this. This is not an uncommon occurrence, I feel.
Yeah, I know.
Like, did the patients have syphilis after seeing this doctor?
No. Though that was a good direction to go in, unfortunately. I'm telling Jen the answer because I want to ask. No, I'm not going to. I'm sorry, Jen. I'm not going to. But, I'll ask you later if you're doing the specific thing.
Alright. Did the doctor intentionally kill his patients?
Yeah, he sure did.
Okay, so it's not like he accidentally killed them, or he was doing some experimental therapy that killed his patients.
Dang. The math on that is off. I gotta look this guy up.
Jen says...
Does the doctor have an art hobby? No.
Not that it specifies.
No, it doesn't specify. This is based on a real guy.
Yeah. Was it obvious that the doctor had killed these people?
No.
Okay. Did they die significantly after they visited him?
No. You feel like there should be a Criminal Minds deck now? There totally should be! Oh,
Make that suggestion.
Toshi, we should make... Does this doctor... Was he a real doctor? Yes, he was. Toshi, I feel like I'm asking a lot of you, but I watched Enterprise for you, so... we should rewatch Criminal Minds and make these, and you have to guess the Criminal Mind episode. Why always you? No? I didn't make you watch Supernatural. Jen and I watched Supernatural. I didn't make you fall on that sword.
Yeah, but you are watching Stargate now.
Stargate is getting awesome, okay?
Okay.
Today's episode was genuinely awesome. Nothing beats Ramona. You kind of bullied me into it. I did not. You watched Criminal Minds on your own because you were home and it was on.
All right, let's get back to this doctor.
You about it. Yeah, back to this horrible doctor.
Ramona.
I can't roll my R long enough.
Were the people who died his patients?
Yes.
Okay.
They definitely were. Okay. So the card is very... The card's gears are a little off. No, I guess it... No, it makes sense. Okay, cool. I was just misreading a thing.
You looked him up in the wiki?
Yeah, I did. I totally did.
Alright.
Did they pay their bills before they died? Yes, they did. Did they ask for it? No, but that... Good direction to take that in. Not relevant, but good direction. God, what a dick. Sorry.
Were his patients voluntarily his patients?
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking maybe it was like a wartime doctor or a prison doctor or something like that. Did these people all have the same or similar conditions?
No.
That was a good question, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to find additional information on this guy so that I can answer you specific things. You were thinking garage doctor. Yeah, no, he's like a real doctor, and they were all in one piece when they were found. Were these people particularly old? So I will give you according to the Wikipedia entry on this guy, his youngest confirmed victim was 41 years old, but there are suspicions that he killed people younger. But there's no confirmation of it. But there were people who were older, much older.
Did the people believe they had been provided good care?
Yes. They trusted him.
Did he remove organs they needed?
No. He did remove something they needed. Their lives. Were the people in a nursing home? Not necessarily. He did home visits sometimes.
Were the people on hospice, says Jen.
It's not specified. I'm looking more up. Wow, what a dick. Sorry, I'm even more annoyed with him.
Did he intend to kill them?
Yes, he did.
I think I maybe asked that.
Yeah.
Did they all die in the same manner?
Yes, they did. Maybe this is from years ago. So few doctors do house calls anymore. Not necessarily in the U.S., folks. Were they mercy killings? No. Euthanasia? No. Mercy. No. No, this was this was murder. He's a murderer, but he's also an asshole. He was a dick even before he was murdering people.
So you're saying this outside the U.S. thing. That implies to me maybe... Was he a foreigner in the land in which he was doing these murders?
Nope, he was native to the land in which he was doing those murders.
Because I could see an apartheid time doctor.
Was it in multiple countries? No. I will say it's in the UK.
Okay.
But he did, at least one of his last victim died at home. And he had been the last person to see her alive. Is this a contemporary murderer or a long ago murderer? This man died in 2004. He hanged himself in his cell. Did he have a partner? Not that we know of.
I feel like we need to find out...
Were the victims all women? Not all, but many. I will say, women... The number of female victims were what brought up... Yes, they did. The victims did have wills that had been recently changed.
Was he the beneficiary of the wills?
Yes, he was. Yeah. Yeah, according to Wikipedia, what brought him under suspicion was the number of elderly women that he had signed death certificates for.
Mm-hmm.
What a giveaway. Yeah. I will say, if you can get how he killed them, I'll call it.
Jen will probably figure this out.
Yeah.
Jen says insulin.
No.
Oh, okay. Was it poison?
Yeah, it was. I just want to check something.
Potassium, says Jen.
Nope. No, he was pretty, he was a basic bitch. Air embolism injected. No, he wasn't that fancy. Was it something with a therapeutic use but used improperly? Yeah, sorta. It depends on what form you're talking about.
So it wasn't like cyanide.
No, it wasn't cyanide.
Lithium. Well, maybe it could have been lithium.
It could have been, I mean, lithium does have, like a hammer. A hammer can be therapeutic, but if used improperly, like applied to the head.
No,
morphine! So she gets it.
Morphine?
It was morphine. He was injecting, it was diamorphine, so it was heroin. But he injected over 200 people. Yeah, you were getting too creative. Like I said, he was a basic bitch. Okay. Harold Frederick Shipman, known to his family and friends as Fred Shipman, was an English general practitioner and is believed to be the most prolific serial killer in history. On January 31st, 2000, a jury found Shipman guilty of the murder of 15 patients under his care, with his total number of victims estimated to be around 250.
Wow.
Yeah. He was sentenced to life imprisonment with the recommendation that he never be released. The Shipman Inquiry, a 2-year-long investigation of all deaths certified by Shipman, which was chaired by Dame Janet Smith, examined Shipman's crimes. The inquiry identified 215 victims. I know, baby. She's trying to get under the covers where my computer is, so...
She's just off camera, too.
She's a lump under here. He is the only British doctor to have been found, the Shipman Inquiry, a 2-year-long investigation of all deaths certified by Shipman, which was chaired by Dame Janet Smith, examined his crimes. The inquiry identified 215 victims and estimated that his total victim count at 250, about 80% of whom were elderly women. Shipman's youngest confirmed victim was a 41-year-old man, although significant suspicion arose that he had killed patients as young as 4. Much of the UK's legal structure concerning healthcare and medicine was reviewed and modified as a result of Shipman's crimes. He is the only British doctor to have been found guilty of murdering his patients, although other doctors have been acquitted of similar crimes or convicted of lesser charges. He committed suicide in 2004, one day before his 58th birthday. He was sentenced to 15 life sentences. So yeah, in March 1998, Linda Reynolds of the Donnybrook Surgery in Hyde, prompted by Deborah Massey from Frank Massey and Sons Funeral Parlour, expressed concerns to John Pollard, the coroner for the South Manchester District, about the high death rate among Shipman's patients. In particular, she was concerned about the large number of cremation forms for elderly women that he had needed countersigned. The matter was brought to the attention of the police, who were unable to find sufficient evidence to bring charges. The Shipman Inquiry later blamed the police for assigning inexperienced officers to the case. Between April 17, 1998, when the police abandoned the investigation, and Shipman's eventual arrest, he killed 3 more people.
Wow.
Several months later, Hyde taxi driver John Shaw contacted the police, informing them that he suspected Shipman of murdering 21 of his patients. Shipman's last victim was Kathleen Grundy, who was found dead in her home on June 24, 1998. He was the last person to see her alive. He later signed her death certificate, recording old age as the cause of death. Grundy's daughter, lawyer Angela Woodruff, became concerned when solicitor Brian Burgess informed her that a will had been made, apparently by her mother, and there were doubts about its authenticity. The will excluded Woodruff and her children, but left £386,000 to Shipman. At Burgess's urging, Woodruff went to the police, who began an investigation. Grundy's body was exhumed, and when examined was found to contain traces of diamorphine, often used for pain control in terminal cancer patients. Shipman claimed that she was an addict and showed them comments he had written to that effect in his computerized medical journal. However, examination of his computer showed that they were written after her death. Shipman was arrested on September 7th and was found to own a Brother typewriter of the kind used to make the forged will. The police then investigated other deaths Shipman had certified and created a list of 15 specimen cases to investigate. They discovered a pattern of his administering lethal doses of diamorphine, signing his patients' death certificates, and then falsifying medical records to indicate that they had been in poor health. Prescription for Murder, a 2000 book written by journalists Brian Whittle and Jean Ritchie, advanced two theories on Shipman's motive for forging the will: that he wanted to be caught because his life was out of control, or that he planned to retire at the age of 55 and leave the UK. So,
wow.
Yeah,
That's
in
dramatic.
2003, David Spiegelhalter et al. Suggested that, quote, statistical monitoring could have led to an alarm being raised at the end of 1996 when there were 67 excess deaths in females aged over 65 years compared with 119 by 1998.
Oh, I love this cat.
So, yeah, that's the dude. So the back of the card just reads, over a period of 20 years, Dr. Harold Shipman, a physician in Manchester, poisoned 250 of his patients, usually with large doses of heroin. The practice of Dr. Death, as he was later named, continued until a colleague had become curious about the unusually high death rate of his patients. Even more curious was the fact that Shipman was the sole heir to many of them. He was given 15 life sentences to be served at Wakefield Prison, where he hanged himself in 2004.
So that's the true crime variant of this game.
That's Dark Stories True Crime. So
Thank you, Amanda.
You're welcome. And you guys got that one.
Yeah.
Good job, Toshi, catching specifically what he was using, and I figured Jen would get a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah.
The inheritance is the real giveaway. Yeah, says the person who works in a nursing home. See, I was gonna say, when you were like, I mean, many of my patients don't feel better, I was like, are you injecting them with large doses of morphine? Are you giving them, like, poisonous levels of heroin?
All right. I think we're going to call it a night for tonight.
No, people don't feel good after strokes. But
No.
You didn't cause those strokes, so...
But Amanda, you are going to read a story in about 10 minutes?
It is time for story time. Or almost time for story time. We're about 10 minutes away. 10 minutes out from story time. Tonight we continue with The Woman Who Rides Like a Man.
I can't believe we're only halfway through this book.
So much has happened!
I know, right?
Like, Alana is now the tribe shaman. Alana joined a Bajir tribe.
So, like,
now she's the shaman.
She lost her sword.
Yeah,
she got a new magic
broken.
sword.
A horrible new magic sword.
Her horrible new magic sword got stolen from her.
She okay, lost her sword. Well, didn't
her sword was chopped in half.
Chopped in half. She got accepted into a tribe, the tribe of Bajir, who normally would not accept someone from the north, but she proved herself in combat, so that's
right.
Super chill.
She killed their shaman.
This is like the beat from every.
Yeah.
I'll repeat it. Their shaman attacked her.
Yeah.
She killed the shaman.
And they made her their new shaman. Now she's
the shaman.
And she started training other women to be shamans.
3 kids.
Yep.
2 of which are girls. She also met the voice of the tribes, the main religious figure of the Bajir, who is dying and has asked her to have Jonathan, the prince, come to visit so that he can become the voice of the tribes. And then in the last chapter, one of her apprentices died. So this is why I
thought last time that we were so close to the end.
Like,
I was like, okay, so we now know that Jonathan needs to become voice of the tribes.
Yeah,
that's like the climax of this book. And it's at the end of chapter 4. And there's we're only halfway through.
Yeah, so this book, like I was saying, I said earlier on in this book, the first 2 books in this series are like, a thing happens, but it's like over a course of a month. And then another month happens, things go on, time passes. It's all like, Alana spent, the next 2 months learning how to use a sword. It does this like very time dilation sort of thing.
Yeah.
But like the reverse of time dilation. It's like a very short period of time, takes only a couple of pages. And that was because Tamara Pierce was trying to make this episodic. She was trying to chunk the story into 4 pieces so that you could have 4 books. So she had the Page years, the Squire years, and now Alana's time in the desert, and then the 4th book is totally different. What that ends up meaning is that a lot of the more plot-heavy stuff ended up like happening bam, bam, bam in the later books, but the earlier books end up stretched out a bit because they were taking place over her years in the palace. This has all taken place over the course of like a month, whereas the first few books are like 4 years each.
Yeah.
So while you would think that a lot more happens in those, a lot of what happens in those is time passes. Alana learns things. Whereas every chapter of this is, now this happens, now this happens, now this happens, now this happens, and it's all coming at her very fast. So yeah, this book has moved very, very fast. We are starting on chapter 6 tonight. And Jen, have you not read the Alana books, or have you read them and didn't realize I was reading them aloud? You have not read these.
Yeah. Okay.
Jen.
Well, join us.
Are you able to join us
5 minutes?
5 minutes over on my channel?
On twitch.tv/MerrimanLion.
Yeah, if y'all go there now, I'll be live in a few minutes. I will give a wrap-up of everything that's happened thus far.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, join me. I will be there in a moment.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
And next Tuesday, we'll play another game on this channel.
Yeah, you know what? We have Mysterium in the car.
Yeah,
we should bring Mysterium up. Would folks like to play Mysterium with us? Because Mysterium is a game we can play with chat. How do folks feel about Mysterium? Or we could break out Obscurio again if y'all want to play that with us.
Both good games.
Yeah. Sure? Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll grab Mysterium out of my car. It's been sitting in my car for like 4 weeks now, so I think it's probably safe.
So we'll see you next Tuesday for that.
Yeah, and I will see you all in about 5 minutes over on my channel. We will be doing story time, nightly story time.
Yay!
All right.
All right.
See you soon.
Bye, everybody.